Spiritual formation. First of all, what do we mean when we say that? If you Google search for spiritual formation, don't do it right now, you probably just did. If you Google search spiritual formation, you will get a plethora of stuff. It's kind of like the word Christian. It means about anything to all kinds of people. Spiritual formation, what do we mean by that? You'll hear people talk about it all the way from progressive sanctification, as we believe it is and as we speak about it, to medieval mysticism, which we do not believe is spiritual formation. So what do we mean when we say spiritual formation? Well, this is what we mean. Number one, the goal of spiritual formation is being conformed to the image of Jesus Christ. The theological term is progressive sanctification. Whereas spiritual formation, many times that term will be used to describe more of the practical reality of you changing and growing into the image of Jesus Christ. The goal of discipleship, the goal of this spiritual formation is Christ being formed in you, or as the reformers used to say, participation in the life of Christ. That's what discipleship is all about. That's the goal of it. So, first of all, being formed in the image of Christ. Number two, though, look again at that Galatians 4:19 verse. Notice where Paul says, "For my little children, for whom I am again in the anguish of childbirth." Some of you have given birth to children, and that's very vivid to you. Others of us have heard about it, and it's pretty vivid to us as well. Little children. Think of this illustration in the same way that a mother will be in anguish over the delivery of her baby. Paul says, that's how I labor. That's how I give myself to the ministry of your formation into the image of Jesus Christ. The second thing I want to say before we actually look at our plan is that the means to this goal takes great effort and sacrifice. It takes effort and sacrifice. The goal of your life as a Christian and the goal of our church is not to see how easy and comfortable we can make Christian living to be. Isn't that true? You know, all of us who know Christ will stand before Him one day and give an account of our lives. I believe as a pastor, and the pastors of our church will give an account for our church before Christ. When you stand before Christ, do you think He'll say, "My child, well done. You gave yourself to living the most comfortable, stress-free, easy life possible. Great job." You think it will sound something like that? Probably not. It will probably have to do if whether you and I, by God's grace, gave ourselves to the spiritual formation and discipleship of one another in the church. Did we give ourselves? Did we give of our money? Did we give of our time? Did we give of our energy to see Christ formed in one another? Christ formed in one another. That's something that's going to matter forever. You know that? Have we, and do we, and will we invest ourselves in something that's going to last forever? Christ being formed in you. Now here's the good news when I say that. God will never call you to do something that He will not enable you to do. And we'll never ask you to do more than God asks you to do. Okay, so just think about that. God will never call you to do something that He doesn't enable you to do, and we're not going to ask you to do more than God would ask you to do. However, we do need to realize that this Christ being formed in you and being formed in one another will take our effort and sacrifice in working together for this ministry.